Let's go back to Congressman Mike Coffman, whose state of Colorado is being considered as a location to send these detainees. Are you in favor of this, Congressman?
No, absolutely not. And let me tell you, we have a bipartisan opposition to bringing these terrorists onto U.S. soil. And so I don't think that there's a question that this isn't going to go anywhere. The president obviously wants to frame this for political purposes. That's fine. But the fact is that they should not come onto U.S. soil and be afforded all due process rights and protections given to those legally in this country.
You know, everybody I hear comment on this says that there's no way the president's plan is going to be put into action. So why do you think he's picking this fight?
Oh, I think it's probably a base issue going into the 2016 election. I can't think of any other reason why he is doing that. This obviously was a big issue for him in the 2008 campaign, running for president, as was ending the war in Iraq, and he certainly pulled out all U.S. forces prior to the 2012 election to meet that campaign pledge. Look what that's done to Iraq. We're now back in Iraq in a far worse situation. This president seems to be impervious to new information, and the fact is this is not a recruiting tool for terrorism. What is a recruiting tool for terrorism is a president that projects weakness in American foreign policy.
You know, I think about what if this actually did happen and you ended up with prisoners in your supermax prison there. Are there worries that these truly bad guys would then convert American prisoners to a terrorist way of life?
You know, I'm not. The security considerations of bringing them into what we call the supermax in Colorado, that part's not a concern to me. The concern to me, again, is giving them all the due process rights by bringing them onto U.S. soil. The fact is, these are enemy combatants, albeit irregular enemy combatants. They need to be housed in Guantanamo Bay until, in fact, hostilities are over with. What the president didn't say in his press release is how many of the former detainees that have been released have returned to the battlefield to target Americans.
Well,
and so we need to keep this open for another president a stronger commander-in-chief, who will in fact utilize this, that when we take enemy combatants off the battlefield, that we have a place to put them.
Well, right now we don't, that's for sure, although the president would like to have one. Did you hear his comment, though, when he was making this announcement? He said, we've managed it just fine, meaning Guantanamo. Would you agree with that analysis?
No, I think that he is, again, I think has released prisoners that should have never been released, and again, has never acknowledged that there's been detainees that he has released that have returned to the battlefield in a threat to our forces overseas, if not our homeland security. And so I think it's for the president has continually underestimated the threat to the United States. He talks about terrorism, Guantanamo Bay being a recruiting tool for terrorism. Again, what is a recruiting tool for terrorism is I think the lack of American leadership in security issues.
Before you go, what you object to here is due process, having to give these fellows, these terrorists that goodness knows what would happen if they were let loose in the American prison system, giving these folks due process. What's your ultimate fear here?
Well, I think my ultimate fear is the fact that we don't have a place, because the president hasn't used Guantanamo Bay to put these hardened terrorists. And the fact is that he's going to release people. I think he's talking about now releasing another 35 without any regard to the fact that they may very well return to the battlefield, the very battlefield where there are American troops. And so just real concern to me as a Marine Corps combat veteran. I think I'm going to do everything I can to keep Guantanamo Bay open so that when we have a commander-in-chief that fundamentally cares about protecting the American homeland, cares about projecting American strength, because we know that weakness invites aggression, that in fact that president has a tool, and that tool is called Guantanamo Bay, to secure the worst that are out there that wish to do harm to America.
Well, a red-hot topic today. Congressman, thanks for coming on and talking to us about it.